Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I don't feel it anymore. Somehow I see clearer than before, and I hold on to the bastion of light, and I turn my back to the meaning of life. And the scene isn't my scene anymore. I dug too deep, I was crawling on the floor. It's what you made and the people you love. The more I burn, the less I've got to show. What's calling them now? Jumping in line at the store. Keep racing ahead, there's no value in the score. Grind your teeth and cut off all your sleeves. A few good ribs in a sticky bag of green. You said before, not as bad as it seemed. But a grown-up kid gets to live out all his dreams. No self-control, you keep singing through the screen. When you wake up, it's closer than you think.
You're listening to Strand of Oaks live here on 90.3 KEXP. That song, Hyperspace Blues, from the new album Eraserland. Actually, all the songs you're going to listen to today are from the new album Eraserland. Weird Ways was the song before that. And very excited, as I mentioned before, to have you back, Tim, Strand of Oaks. And thank you for also giving us a great new record.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah.
It just feels very natural.
Well,
welcoming and comfortable.
You're always welcome, not only to Seattle, but KEXP.
Yeah.
Always. Well, you and I's paths keep crossing. A few years ago here in Seattle, you and I and a couple other KEXP folk went downtown. We got tacos and drinks, and then we ran into each other in Leavenworth, Washington for the Timber, because I was the MC out there, and we
were so thankful to get there and not have kind of like a moment where we're like, I guess we're living in these snowy mountains for the rest of our lives.
You just break down and set up.
East Coast people aren't quite used to those passes.
Right.
I don't like the term pass. I'm like, I have to go through something called a pass? That seems very dangerous.
Yeah, it seems vague. It seems
daunting.
Absolutely. And so once again, thank you for taking the time to perform for all of us. And I say thank you for a great new record because it seemed as if there was a moment there where it might not have happened. I was reading somewhere where you were considering letting go of this whole Strand of Oaks thing, feeling maybe a little bit too tied to it or possibly even not creating music altogether. What motivated you again to make this record?
Well, I think it was just the collection of friends and collective consciousness of friends that kind of realized that it's not like soothing words or something that keep me going, it's productivity. And so I was feeling pretty down, and my friend Carl Brommel from My Morning Jacket just casually texted me. He was like, hey, if you ever want to play music, Tim. And I'm not sure if he was prompted to do so by people I know, or maybe it was just serendipity, but he said that, and I said, yeah, I'd love to. And that's kind of how it ended. And then 6 hours later, I got a call from my manager, and he's like, so you're making a record with My Morning Jacket? And I was like, I don't know anything about that. He says, well, you are, and there's studio time booked, so you should probably write some songs. And so it was like the greatest homework assignment ever. I was like, okay, now I have to write songs for some of my favorite musicians on the planet. And yeah, I think the record started from a, pretty down place, but that was just the beginning. Everything else is just love.
Yeah.
Just filled with that's why I usually don't listen to records I make because it just makes me in my own head too much. And to have this new one, Eraserland, I listened to it not for the songs I wrote, but just the memories of looking around, a room like this and reacting to people that I would watch on stage. And then they are there for me, and not just as musicians, but most importantly, friends. And, I think that's what we're doing here right now. And I call it the Eraserland theory that the right people kind of find each other if you put the antennas up correctly. Mm-hmm. And you kind of run into people who make you feel better about yourself. And I've been on a pretty good streak of that lately.
That's great. Yeah. And so Carl really lit the fire.
He did. Yeah. And he then contacted everybody else. And, for instance, Bo, the keyboard player, he's in Roger Waters' band. So he was literally on the Wall tour, and he had 2 weeks off. And he spent that time in Louisville with us.
That sounds like a sweet gig.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when the thing I say the most in the studio is I always say make someone do an overdose, make that sound like Pink Floyd. And I said that to Bo, and he was like, I kind of play us and them.
Right.
I was like, oh, wow. It actually, what I'm saying is actually absolutely true right now.
Absolutely. Can you also tell the listeners what the importance of the album Spirit of Eden by Talk Talk is to you?
Well, actually, I think Talk Talk was one of the bands that it found me at the perfect time. I was hanging out with the former bass player for Phosphorescent, and I was seeing him in Woodstock, New York, and I was just turning 30. And he's like, oh, you're 30 now. You need to listen to Talk Talk. I was like, okay, well, I know the hits or whatever. And he's like, no, you need to listen to later. So, I mean, it kind of came to me then, but in the process of writing the record, I was on the beach in Wildwood, New Jersey, and I was taking these expansive walks in the winter, and I would play Spirit of Eden because it's such an organic journey from the beginning to end. And I think I was just on the verge of writing the last song on the record, Forever Chords, and I was, purging myself of a lot of darkness, and I had Spirit of Eden on, and it was the foggiest, most desolate-looking Cormac McCarthy kind of day, and it was like, oh, this is too cinematic. This isn't real. Like, the sun broke, and I was just bathed in the ray of suns right when one of Mark Hollis's guitar, insane guitar chords hit, and it was, and I feel like oftentimes I'm very referential, and what I think I sound like I don't, but I do feel like Mark Hollis's vision and what he did, especially on Spirit of Eden, lives in Eraserland. It's wild to think about how much that record affected me, just more of what it didn't do than what it did. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot what we try to do with Eraserland, where surrounded by such immense talent, it showcased their talent even more, what they chose not to play. And me in the past, I'm a bit maximalist. Right. So, if anyone's heard my previous records, I like to throw everything in the kitchen sink and just pile it on. And I was all down for Carl to play 25-minute long guitar. I'm like, Carl, just keep playing the solo. And, and Patrick. But what they did, and maybe that was just kind of like that feeling, because they all love talk as much as I do. And it's like, what do we not do? And the space is an instrument on this record. And
so maybe less is more is what you're coming around to.
And it's more powerful that way. And maybe it's less compensation of because maybe in the past, if I'm paging Dr. Freud right now, it's like, well, the more I put on it, the less chance there is for people to not like this or something. And if I just have one more synthesizer or guitar solo, and it just felt so nice to kind of have be surrounded by mentors. And I've always been kind of made records by myself, and to have people just give really important feedback that I just took to heart so much.
Yeah, and it probably breathes new life into it. It's just a different feeling than before.
Yeah, and we did it just like this. We did it in a room. So we were tracked it live and looking at each other, and that was a new experience, because you can read off of people's facial expressions, where you're going to go. And I just am, it was one of the most wonderful memories of my life making it.
It's a beautiful, beautiful story. It actually makes me want to go listen to Spirit of Eden.
Oh, I think everyone should. It will center you.
Yeah. Also, I read an older interview of yours from years and years ago, but something really stuck out to me, and it's something that I think about every once in a while. But you had a friend tell you that the last form of magic in this world is making music.
Yeah.
Does that still ring true with you?
Yes, I do. I
just love that quote.
I feel like it is the idea that it's conjuring something. And all art, honestly, a good meal or a great cup of coffee or something is just as immense. But I feel like in my life, it's the idea where, although my songs are relatively simple, I can't believe that even more, because the last song on my record, it's called Forever Chords. It's just C to E minor. And I somehow in the universe found a melody that's kind of my own within these very familiar billions of time played structures. And that's where the magic comes in. The fact that there's still something to be found within the spaces of well-worn paths, and just the idea of the collaboration that happens. We, in this group here, we've only known each other for 3 weeks, but but that's this probably the addictive thing of this job is I always want to be in summer camp. And this is I didn't get to go to summer camp when I was, so this is my continuous summer camp that
Adult
I get to
summer
do.
camp.
Adult summer camp,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, once again, the new album is called Eraserland, another fantastic record from Strand of Oaks. And I know that myself and the listeners would love to hear a couple more if you're all ready.
We'd
all
love
right.
to.
It is Strand of Oaks live here, 90.3 KEXP Seattle.
Distraction from your worries. And Ruby was your eyes. Ruby, what a nice surprise. If you wanna dream, then dream with me. Put down your mind, light up and shine. Reach out to me, feel it. Make you move and act like a fool. Quit holding back and wait for the end. My mind was a race. Blame it all on your fate. If you wanna live, then live with me. And we can't choose to make love or to lose. If you're not done dreaming, then dream with me. Put down your mind, light up and shine. Reach out to me and feel it. Gonna make you move and act like a fool. Quit holding back and wait for the end to and Ruby, won't you slow it down? It's happening so fast. Ruby, won't you pull me back? I'm living in the past. Ruby, won't you slow it down? It's happening so fast. Ruby, won't you pull that you hear it, the more that you don't. The lesson is trying, the fear is you won't. we looking for answers, or just filling in the hole? The problem with living is one day you won't. Major to minor, the slow beating pulse. And forever cold, you learned as a kid that endless scroll of all the lies ahead never get old. Stop living in your head, chase the moments of bliss. You'll outshine the bad. Believe you can be loved. You'll outlive your past, and you hope it never ends. You hope it never ends. I hope it never hope it never ends. I hope it never ends.
It's beautiful. Strand of Oaks here on 90.3 KEXP. That song, Forever Chords, and the song before it, Ruby, found on the great new Strand of Oaks record, Eraser Land. And I want to thank you again, Tim, for stopping by, and thank Russ, Daniel, Casey, and Max, a fantastic group of musicians here. And thank you again for stopping by, playing Numos tonight.
Yeah.
So I couldn't recommend it more to come out and see Strand of Oaks and see this fantastic live show. And yeah, it's always wonderful seeing you, Tim.
I love it here.
Yeah, I love it here. I love you being here.
Yeah.
And so please come back here.
I will, for sure.
Got an open invite all the time. Yes. So, all right, that was Strand of Oaks live here on 90.3 KEXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?